The worst part is they're sitting in the passenger seat up front.
Yeah.
And you know you can tell somebody's staring at you.
Yeah.
So I look over and this guy's just like,
oh, hey, baby.
I'm like, hey, what's up? You know?
Yeah.
And he's like, how do we meet? I'm like, you ordered an Uber?
Right.
Oh, this isn't a drug deal?
Oh.
No, it's not.
He's like, okay. Do you want it to be one? No.
Nope.
I'm at the point now where I'm kind of a dick about it. Like, if they have too many and they're still insisting, I'll just be like, you know what? I just canceled the ride. Get out of my car.
Yeah.
They'll be like, 1 star, 1 star. I'm like, you can't rate me. Get out of my car.
You've said to that, you can't rate me?
And not in those words, but I've said, no, that's not possible.
I want video on that. Oh, Ben just points to us. We're on. Welcome to the GR Rideshare live stream podcast. Thank you for joining us. We're excited to be here. We just got done with an amazing interview from Experience GR. Dave and Lisa was great. There's more to that to come. Stop. Yeah, so we got me, Jason, Nicholas.
Hello.
Benjamin.
Hey there.
And oh yeah, Jesper. Yeah, hi buddy. Yep, the team from GR Rideshare, we're all here tonight, so we're super stoked about that. Jesper usually gets a little excited and starts ripping on me, and it's a good time. So we had, like I said, we had Experience GR in. We were talking about their CTA program, Certified Tourist Ambassador Program, and what that can mean for rideshare drivers. And we are going to start doing working with them a little bit and promoting it, and how you can become an ambassador. So look forward to that in the future. So the last 2 weeks, I actually had to look back in my trips because I didn't see. I had looked at each place that I went, and I'm like, oh yeah. I didn't have a very exciting couple of weekends, but I saw a lot of jerk drivers parking in the street again. And I laid on the horn on one. It was on Commerce in Weston. We're not talking just in the road. We're talking blocking both lanes of traffic, like dead center of the road. I just nailed the horn. Of course, the PAX gave me a dirty look. But did you guys experience any of that over the weekend?
I had one right in front of the Bob.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even in the lane that everybody else was parking in. He was like...
Oh, he double parked?
Oh, no, this one, yeah. This one guy, he was in the lane. Like the parking lane you're not supposed to park in, it was all full, right?
Yeah.
People, like stupid people there.
The parking lane you're not supposed to park in was all full.
Right. So there's like 12 cars there. And then right next to it, there's this one guy, and he's like taking his good old time getting passengers in.
Yeah.
And I just laid on the horn. Like,
yeah.
You got to go.
That's the new thing is horn. Have you ever seen anyone, and Ben admitted to this, I think he did a drop off there, but have you ever seen anyone pick up in the center turn lane in front of the Bob?
Oh, no. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Pick up.
I actually used to do it.
You picked up?
A couple years ago, I did it once.
Wow. That's
Hey,
pretty
we
bad.
didn't know any better back then.
Right.
No, we were just, ignorant
And,
people.
yeah. Speaking of that, complete tangent. You said ignorant. Megan and I had this
Don't
conversation.
call me ignorant.
Well, okay. We had this conversation going to the concert Sunday night that using the word ignorant, she feels like is derogatory. Crickets. Crickets.
I don't necessarily know that I think I agree with that.
Ignorant?
Yeah, like you're being ignorant. And she feels like it sounds like a dirty word.
No.
Like you're
I guess it just depends on the context.
yeah, or the tone.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he's just ignorant about that. It just means you don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
It lacks the Google says lacking knowledge or awareness in general.
Yeah.
Uneducated or unsophisticated. So
I
guess the last two parts of it can be derogatory.
right. I think people use it derogatory, so maybe that's why, but complete side note. But
I use it all the time, and I don't mean it in a derogatory
no, I know
manner.
you don't. And I actually appreciate that you said that because I'm trying to think of an example who uses that regularly. I don't use it regularly, but yeah, we had an argument about that.
I talk a lot about stupid people. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's just another word for stupid, I guess. But see, stupid sounds worse.
Oh yeah, no, stupid is definitely worse.
Yeah.
I think ignorant is it's the don't know any better.
Right. It's not. It doesn't mean. Yeah, they don't know exactly. It's not that they know what to do. They just don't know any better. So that's yeah. Okay. Sorry about the side tangent. And the other thing I wanted to bring up, I delivered these people. I picked these people up from the airport.
Hi, Megan.
And I brought them to, I put $1 million house. It might have been multi-million dollar house in East Grand Rapids. No tip. Like,
No tip.
it's so crazy. And then I pick up this older couple, and they're like, $5 tip on the app. Like, they were super nice. I'm like, you have $1 million house. Why aren't you tipping? Come on. I just
Seriously.
pisses
Well,
me off.
I think. I mean, we say that all the time, right? That our best tippers is not the people in ADA.
True. It's just frustrating.
Well, I guess the deeper question is, and not that I want to repeat ignorant. That's not what I'm going back to. But is there a different? No. But here's the thing: is there a different view on tipping when you come from those areas? I don't know the answer to that question, but that's something we can maybe.
I kind of feel if the person worked hard for their money instead of like just giving it to them, like they just inherited, I think there's a difference in how they tip. Does that make sense?
It could be.
If they started out waiting at restaurants
Very
and
true.
serving, and all of a sudden they, started this company and et cetera or whatever. I don't know, maybe. What about you?
We've got a listener in Las Vegas.
Ooh, that's a first.
Feeling lucky.
All right.
Feeling lucky.
Well, it's Vegas.
Vegas.
So I had a puker over
let's-
the weekend.
Oh, that's right. You did have a puker.
I had a puker, and it was kind of an interesting story because it was a gal who she just wanted to be nice, right? she was paying for somebody else's ride.
Oh, yeah. We need to go into this a little bit.
And
That's
I
right.
don't want to get too deep into it, but it was just she was being nice. I picked him up at the woods.
Mistake number one.
And well.
Right.
Hey, I like
know.
the woods.
I know. They always go to Allendale.
Well, we did it nicely, and it was on the side, and it was correct and all that stuff. But this nice gal and her friend just wanted to do the right thing, and before the passenger gets in my car, I say, hey, is he gonna be okay? Because you will get the cleaning fee if something happens. And they both assured me he was gonna be fine, fine and everything. But he was drunk. He was really drunk. And sometimes you can almost tell if there's going to be an accident, right?
Yes.
And I drive him home. He was over on the northwest side where I live, so it was over in that area. And this was Friday night or Saturday morning, whatever. And he kind of dozes at one point. We're almost there. He kind of dozes, and then he wakes up and he starts gagging.
Yeah.
Like almost immediately. And I don't have time to like pull over or roll down the window or anything like that. It's just it's just not going to happen.
No.
And of course, it comes out, and then he's like proceeds to say, "Oh yeah, I'm a Lyft driver. I know what it means. You got to if you." It's like, he actually stopped by saying, "Is the ride paid for?" He goes, "Yeah, it's took care of it. It's all good, all set." It's like, but I have to report the cleaning fee.
Seriously.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm a Lyft driver. You got to do what you got to do. Like,
Yeah, I mean, you did the right thing by speaking to Herb, saying, "Hey, just to let you know, if you get sick, I will charge a cleaning fee." And you have a dash cam, so it's all on camera. I know you were worried that Uber might be if she said, "Hey, he never threw up. I don't know who even did this."
right, and so I have it all on dash cam. I even have me telling her about the incident.
Yeah.
So I had the whole episode on dash cam, and I don't think anything's coming back to me. But it's one of those situations like, well, she was just trying to do the right thing.
I appreciate that she did that.
On the other side of it, I gotta get my car cleaned.
No, you're an independent contractor. It's not like you appreciate that she was doing the right thing, but you also you're out there to make money. You're not giving things away for free.
So, anyways, I reported it, and I got my money. So
yeah, don't feel bad.
No, well, I kind of do, right? Because a little bit, you want to step on the wagon of kind of helping out and stuff, but I wasn't the one decided who was going to help out. So
I know.
It's just that whole
It is
story.
super interesting that you bring up. You kind of know because there's been times where I've canceled rides where I've seen people and it's not always the stumble over. It's the sway.
Right.
When I see him swaying like this on the curb waiting, I'm like, nope, not today. Like, not gonna happen. And it's funny that he fell asleep. You were probably like, oh yeah, good, sleep, baby, sleep.
Well, right.
Because then like it's probably not going to happen. He's just passed out. You get him home. You're going to wake him up, and he's going to walk out.
But no,
No. Did you end up getting the full amount?
I did.
Nice. Good work. What about you, Nick?
I've had a couple of long trips. The one that comes to mind is my Lansing trip. Talked the whole ride about tipping with him. The whole ride.
I'm telling you, we're making those stickers. I know we keep talking about it and all this stuff. We're working on it. We all have full-time jobs, so we are working on it. But we're going to make a sticker.
So
Maybe I shouldn't say it, but it's going to be great.
So when
exciting things coming up on the website.
Yeah.
No, you're good. So when I finally drive him off, I drive him off at a brand new Cadillac Escalade. Very, very expensive car. Very nice. And
Wait, you dropped him off in an Escalade?
yeah, at his car. I dropped him off at a high school because his son was playing high school football.
Oh, okay.
So his vehicle was there. And yeah, still 2 weeks, no tip.
I wouldn't hold your breath.
Yeah.
But he wasn't drunk though, right?
No, sober.
See, it
Airport.
reminded me of a story. I forget who said it, but I listened to one of the guys over the weekend, and he mentioned, or maybe it was something I read on this, but the story goes that this guy dropped a very, very drunk guy off at his vehicle.
Oh,
Yes, yeah.
And he proceeded to get into the vehicle, and the Uber driver, I forget who it was, but he then proceeded to call the cops.
Good for him.
I mean,
Absolutely.
But it's like, God, what's going on here?
Well, yeah, he just needed to get to his car. He didn't care about driving drunk. He just needed a ride to his car.
And then the Uber driver, I guess, said, "Don't do this. I'm
Oh.
going to whatever." And he called, and the cops came and put him in handcuffs and took him away.
Good.
Wow.
Good for him. I mean, there's too many times where you probably let that stuff go. I mean, you know what I mean? Where you see stuff. What do you guys do? Have you ever called the police while you've been driving when
Yes.
you have? Have you ever called the police while you're driving and see a drunk driver with a PAX in the car?
Drunk driver?
Yeah. So you have so you have a passenger and you're driving them to their route, and all of a sudden you see this guy like, wow, wow.
Oh,
wow.
when you have a passenger
Correct.
in the car.
I haven't. I've seen
No.
it before, but I feel guilty not calling. But maybe I don't know. I don't know what to do there.
I feel like my priority is if I have a passenger, my priority is getting them to where they need to go safely.
Correct. I agree.
If I can make a phone call and do that, then I will. But that's asking a lot.
Yeah, I wonder if you could talk to the passenger and say, "Hey, is this guy's drunk in front of me? Do you mind if we follow him a little bit?" I mean, because the problem is they're paying for it. So
Exactly.
what happens if you end up on the highway and you're like 10 miles down the road?
You could kill the ride.
That's true.
I mean, I've done that a couple of times.
But then you're not covered, though, right?
Well,
there's a gray area there.
Insurance-wise, I guess no. You're right. You're not.
So that is a good question when we talk to Jeffrey Lake from Farmers Insurance, which is next week.
Your rider should cover it, right? Because that doesn't matter. You still have. They don't care whether your ride is actually active or not. Like
That's true. That's why you have
the rider, the additional.
Yeah, the
insurance
rideshare insurance. Yeah, it covers that gap. You're right. That's
So,
why you have that.
I had. Are you finished telling your story?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
He didn't start his story, but he
Yeah.
said he had called the police at one point.
I was gonna say I have them on speed dial, but that's silly. It's 911.
Right.
So, but I have made numerous phone calls to 911 while driving.
Yeah, it's the right thing to do.
Yep.
I mean, most of us on the road are after like 2 a.m. are either drunks or rideshare drivers.
True.
I mean, let's face it.
So I've reported domestic violence type situations and
While rideshare driving?
oh yeah.
Oh, dang.
So one was I'm
Always got to up us.
I know. He's a one-upper.
You even called the cops on your one passenger.
I did. Yes. And that is on camera. That was something.
Yeah, we've had two. I think Justin had that
Justin
one
did
in
as well.
Walker, too. So I've never had to.
Neither have I.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Knock on wood. You got
Right.
wood here somewhere?
Yeah, right there.
Oh,
Don't be knocking.
there we go. And then actually, I finally hit a lift bonus.
Ooh.
Wow.
All $12 of it.
Don't spend it all at one place.
And then I did learn something new. I did not know this, but the rider can actually tip you before the ride is even completed.
In Uber, yeah.
Yes.
Now,
I
Lyft is
never knew that.
Lyft is promoting something right now that you can leave feedback, which I'm assuming means a tip. I just recently.
But I think it's only on the one type of ride. That's
Oh,
not
pool?
It's not pool. What they call it? It's the other one. I
Lyft's version of it.
Yeah.
Express.
No, it's Lyft's Express. Lyft version of pool.
Okay.
Whatever they call it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And the way I read the article,
Lyft
at least,
line.
it was only
Lyft line.
if you're going in the opposite direction where you're actually going. So if Lyft is taking you in a different direction, then they'll let you take a.
Okay, I didn't know that. And then Ben, anything? I know you're feeling a little under the weather tonight, so
It's been a rough week.
yeah, it's been a rough week for you. You had any stories or anything like that?
It's a pretty mellow weekend as far as rideshare goes. Nothing that, stands out as being crazy. So thankful for that.
I'm trying to think of all your stories. I'm thinking the guy that sang, we already talked about that, right?
Yeah.
And then I always want to say Charlie bit my finger guy.
Yes. After having such weird, random, bizarre rides, it's been nice to just have normal rides.
Yeah.
Doing a lot of trips out to Allendale.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah,
So.
good.
That's fun.
Nate, that was a great story.
What?
We have a passenger. We have a viewer right now. He says, I was taking an Uber as a PAX. I had an Uber driver who had a 4.21 rating. I asked him why is his rating so low, and he said he's been driving while drinking for Uber, and nobody didn't report anything about it.
Wow, where's
4.21.
Nate from? Do you know by chance?
I don't know.
I
Nate,
believe
where you
he's
from?
in.
I'd just be curious because that's a really low rating.
That is very low.
So
yeah.
all right. Did we skip you? Oh no, you talked about a puker. I didn't want to get yelled at. So
I talked too much.
Right.
I don't think there was anything else going on for me. I just I drove 16 hours, I guess, so lots of stuff. But
Yeah.
nothing.
All right. So we're going to go into rideshare in the news, and first thing I want to talk about, and Nick and I talked about this a little bit. What if Uber? So we were thinking about tipping, and when you talk about food delivery, Grubhub, when they check out, they ask right away, "Do you want to give a tip to your driver?" Right away. So 98% of Grubhub deliveries have tips on them. What if Uber did that? What if Uber said, "Hey, do you want to leave a tip for your driver?"
Yeah.
Before you requested the ride, and that incentive went out to the closest driver, and the driver, would you be more likely if you saw that you were getting a $2 tip to take that ride? I don't know. I mean, instead of, we deny. How many times? I mean, our acceptance rates are under 10% on both platforms all the time.
But isn't that against the whole tipping? The idea is you personally get a tip for the service that you provided for the ride.
It's hard to tip up front.
Yeah, that seems weird.
Well, if you want to ride, though.
Excuse me, but that's what Grubhub does.
But that's different.
Potentially.
Why?
Why is that different?
Because
I
they're
guess I don't
bringing you food. They don't have much else to do but bring you food.
No, but here's the thing. You can still bring the food and be cold and you forgot the drink or whatever.
Right.
And
It's the same thing. It's just passenger versus food. So I just wonder because
passenger versus food. Very, very
Sounds like a reality TV
I know,
show.
yeah.
right. No, because I was thinking about that because when Grubhub makes a request, it ends up popping up, and I know that my tip's in there. Like I know how much I'm going to make. What if Uber did that? It pops up. You know how much you're going to make. Like this guy. I mean, you couldn't do it if not like the actual ride, because if it was all short rides, no one would take it. I don't mean that, but what if you knew that you were going to make $3 extra on that ride because the driver said, "Hey, I really need to go. I'm willing to tip $3." I don't know.
I would expand my range to probably 10 minutes.
I would even go further. I mean, depending on the amount of money. I don't know. I think
you said $3, so that's why.
Well,
I said
yeah,
10.
I'm just spitballing as far as numbers, but I think more rides would get picked up and less would get denied.
More trips to the liquor store.
Oh, boy.
I mean, I don't know. It's just a thought. Maybe it's just.
I mean, the way Uber's tipping works right now, it's not optimum by any means.
No, it's not.
Nah,
I mean, that should be the first thing that they ask for when the ride is done. It should, as soon as we swipe complete trip, it should pop up on their phone, but it doesn't. So,
and it should be a automatically selected minimum, and like in the median, like what it. I think Lyft has it already. The medium selected.
Yeah, I mean, if everyone just tipped $1, if you take 20 trips over the weekend, it's extra $20.
Just don't say you're going to tip really well and then tip $1.
Yes, please. Rude.
I'll tip in the app.
I'll tip you in the app.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Rideshare in the news. First video up.
Can I talk about my 1 cent tip?
Absolutely. Go ahead. I mean, everyone loves our stories, so we go through.
So that was.
Yeah, you can turn that on. Thank you. Yeah, everyone loves our stories. So if you got another story, please tell it.
Another, I think I shared with the group. That was it wasn't this weekend, but the weekend before. It was yet another one of my more than 6 people rides, and they thanked my my willingness to only take 6 of them in a ride by giving me a 1-cent tip
and a 1-star.
And a 1-star, yeah, that was nice. Thank you.
Yeah,
particularly because you can't just, giving you 1-cent tip, that's an actual decision. You have to click in, you have to type in 0.
Yeah, there's no percentage. Like you have to type all that in.
You have to type it in. So they meant to do this.
Yeah,
that was very nice of them.
That's so.
Well, that's why you just cancel those rides.
Well, I need to start doing that right now. But it was I just felt so. It was so disrespectful.
I have a question. We've talked about it time and time again. Did you start sending your stock text now for XLs? Are you going to do that?
No, of course he hasn't.
I have it. I didn't thought
you had to download a program so you could do it, right?
Shut up. We're not talking about iPhones. I have the ability to do it now.
Yeah. So basically, what we're talking about is, if you have a vehicle that's an XL, most vehicles can only fit 6 passengers. Mm-hmm. Some of them can fit 7. Mine, but that's not the common. The common is 6. But people get used to the 7 because what would you think? Maybe 2 models that can do the 7. Maybe 3.
Not many.
I thought all of them could as long as they didn't have the bucket. The older models I'm talking about, not the new ones.
Yeah, I'm not sure if a Pilot can come with a bucket. I don't know. But anyways, that you should send a text when you get an XL request that says I can only take 6 if you have 7.
Then you won't get 1-cent tips.
Right.
Well, and I need to start canceling. I need to do what Ben did that one night. Like, bye-bye, cancel the trip.
Yep. I was not having
out
there.
Oh,
You're my hero then.
Dude, Ben was over Saturday. We were recording our other podcast, and I was just watching the video because I was testing some things, and I just Ben is no BS in that video. He's just from the beginning of the ride, he's like, if you touch me, that too. If you test me, you say one thing, you're dead.
You're out.
Yeah, that was a great video. So, all right, the first video, it is a lengthy video, and I'm going to apologize in advance, but it's really good. It talks about recording people in your car.
Yeah, we had some chatter on that already.
Oh, did we?
It was Sean in Pennsylvania was asking about do you have to notify riders that they are on camera in Michigan, or do you have to have a sign?
So in Michigan, it's a one-party state. So meaning
one-party consent.
Yeah. So we don't have to let them know. In a 2-party state or 2-party consent or whatever, you do have to let the passengers know by a sign. Now, I don't know if that sign has to be. I don't know the legalities as far as visibility.
I don't even know if a sign is enough, because if it's a 2-party consent, both parties have to agree to it.
Well, that's kind of a fact check thing. I'm going to write that down as far as 1-party, 2-party,
and I'm pretty positive it goes by if there's audio or not as well.
Yeah, we did talk about that. There is audio if the passenger is in the car and they're on the phone, and even in Michigan, you're technically against the law if they're talking on the phone because the person on the other end of the phone has no idea.
Third party.
That's the third party.
Isn't that only if the third party is if you're on speakerphone?
I don't know. Like I said, that's gonna be a long fact check for that
seriously.
one. But this video is about it, and I'm going to play it, and hopefully it works. And we've been trying to work on stuff for that.
The sound is so much better.
I know.
Hey, I'm Alex Perez with ABC News. Do you know your rights as a passenger in an Uber or Lyft or other rideshare program? There was a case in St. Louis where an Uber driver was actually recording all of the conversations and rides with his passengers and streaming it all online. So we're going to go to one of the experts to find out what you need to know. We're going to talk to attorney Bryant Greening. Thank you for joining us. You specialize in passenger rights. And what better way to flesh all this out than to get in the car and go for a ride? So join me. Let's go.
Let's do it.
I don't see a pause button on this thing. I was going to try to pause. Oh, there it is. So the guy he's talking to actually works for a company called legalrideshare.com. That's what they do, is deal in rideshare legalities. So just so you know, we should reach out to him.
Justin.
Yeah, they're getting in a car. Like, could you not have just edited this part out?
This case in St. Louis, these passengers being recorded and then streamed live on the internet without some of them saying they didn't know. What were your first thoughts when you sort of read or heard about that?
Well, the first thing I thought of was what an incredible breach of trust. You know, in many states, it's not illegal to record people if they don't know. We call those one-party consent states. There's a big difference between legal and ethical. And what we saw with this Uber and Lyft driver is obvious unethical behavior.
You call what happened in St. Louis with that Uber driver a breach of trust. What do you mean?
So we actually at Legal Rideshare encourage drivers to put cameras in their cars. We think that they're very valuable for evidence in accident and insurance claim situations. We think that drivers need to have certain evidence if there is an assault claim or something of that nature. But we would never expect that a driver would broadcast that information or those images to the public, that they would try to capitalize for their own gain, their own following, the entertainment of their followers. Passengers have an expectation that what happens in that car is not going to be made public to the world, and that driver breached the trust of those passengers.
Both Uber and Lyft have guidelines preventing drivers from commenting about the appearance of their riders. Both companies say that driver in St. Louis will no longer be allowed to work for their companies. In a statement, Uber saying the troubling behavior in the videos is not in line with our community guidelines. We have ended our partnership with this driver. And Lyft, in a statement, says the safety and comfort of the Lyft community is our top priority, and we have deactivated this driver. So what are your rights if you're a passenger in it?
Okay, so this last part is good. You would think like he's going to say, oh, you know, you have all these rights, blah, blah, blah. Listen up the last part because it's interesting.
Uber or a Lyft or some other rideshare program, do you have rights in terms of what you're saying and what's being recorded and where that could end up?
Well, a lot of times what we need to consider is an Uber or Lyft ride a private situation? Do you have an expectation of privacy when you're a passenger in an Uber or Lyft car? I would lean on the side of no, you do not. You're getting into a stranger's car. You can't reasonably expect that what you say is going to fall under a state's recording laws with regard to private conversations and publishing. What is important for the driver and the applications to understand is that passengers aren't aware of these laws. Passengers want to feel safe in the vehicles. So while there aren't perhaps rights or laws that assign to the passenger, I think they do have a reasonable expectation that
put your seatbelt on.
Are going to be protected.
Right.
When we talk about legality, it really depends on the state in which the rideshare ride happens in. In a two-party consent state, a passenger does have a right to not be recorded and not have those recordings broadcasted unless they're aware that they're being taken. In a one-party consent state, the passenger really doesn't have any rights. I do think that a passenger has an expectation that their interests are going to be protected when they get in an Uber or Lyft car, and I think that those platforms should be taking steps to ensure passenger privacy, even if the state's legislature has not taken those steps.
If you are a passenger, what should you be keeping your eyes open for?
Many drivers have dash cams, which are literal cameras that are attached to their rearview mirror. Those actually record inside and outside of the vehicle. So if you look
hang tight, guys. We've got a minute left. Sorry, I know this is long.
Rearview mirror, you'll be able to see an actual red light that shows that it's recording. If you see that, you need to understand that you are likely on camera, and anything that you say has the potential to get out there.
What do? You just, every time you get in a car, you have to keep your eyes open for cameras and say something about it, or how do you handle it?
As an Uber and Lyft passenger, you've got to be diligent to make sure that that you're not saying things that are going to get you in trouble. If you wouldn't stand on a sidewalk and yell something at the top of your lungs, I wouldn't say it in an Uber car, because that could be recorded and you never know where that could end up.
So it sounds like the best advice is, if you don't want other people to hear it, don't say it out loud.
That's exactly what we would say. Consider an Uber or Lyft to be the same as getting on public transportation. If you wouldn't say it on a bus, don't say it in an Uber.
All right, Brian, thank you so much for all that information, all the 411 on what you should do if you're a passenger.
Yeah, okay. We don't care about that. So
So CC asked a good question: Is Michigan a single party consent or a two party consent? And it is a single party consent.
It
so
is.
and the important piece here is the driver is the single party. So as long as we know as the driver, we can record legally in the car.
Yeah.
Now, of course, there's the whole ethical issue that he's also bringing up. But
Right.
legally, we can record in the car.
Yeah.
And we should have that camera to protect us, protect our families, protect the cars and all that stuff if something happens.
Yeah.
Have any of you had a passenger that complained about the camera?
Only when I had my Falcon. My Falcon F360.
Interesting.
Pretty bad quality though, too.
Yeah.
No.
It was bad quality.
Yeah, I've had people bring it up. I think either Cece or Gabe had someone just get out of the car.
But I will say it was a group of 7 that I only took 6. Did not take 7. So they were complaining about it, and they're like, "Oh, is that even legal?" Blah blah blah.
Sure is.
Trying to play, like they knew the laws and everything like that. And I was like, if you don't like it, you can get out. They shut up real quick.
Like the same guy that said, "I'm gonna write your license plate down, dude."
that was my favorite line. Of
Gosh,
that whole thing.
I would do the same. I would cancel the ride if somebody said they don't want to be recorded. Okay, well then
Well, if you don't want to be recorded, you're obviously up to nothing good.
It's true.
No,
That's my point.
Not necessarily. There are people that are like, "Nope, not gonna happen for me," just because they just don't like their privacy. I mean, those are the people that don't use Google.
Well, why would they be using rideshare that can be tracked?
That's true. That's a good point. You're worried about the camera, but
Yeah,
that is a little strange. So that was a really good video. Nick had mentioned that as well. I finally watched it. It is a long video. Typically when I see videos, if they're over a minute, I'm like, meh. But no, that was a really good video, and I'd like to reach out to that guy just to get some more clarification.
Yeah.
I wonder if they offer a service to protect drivers, for a small fee or something. You never know. Everyone needs an attorney.
no kidding.
So the next one is some lady threw tacos.
I love this one.
I do too, and I want to get your feedback from what the rider did and what the driver did, and see if they handled it correctly. Well, obviously the passenger didn't, but
That's all yours.
Whoa. Whoa, you're scratching at my car, man.
Oh, I'm sorry.
okay. So let me give a little background here. So there's a female driver and passenger, and I think there's 2 guys also involved in this ride. You only see the guy one time getting out, and then later in the video you see another guy, but you can hear their voices. So
Wait, is this Maria?
Maria.
Well, so we have a Maria listening right now, and she says she had tacos thrown at her last weekend.
Is this the Maria we're talking about right
I
now?
don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Wow. Holy cow, that's pretty cool.
Is that you, Maria?
Well, it's up to me, honestly. And honestly,
I think you need to go back and get them.
I need you to exit my vehicle, please.
I think it is.
No way.
I have nothing to do with that. I don't even know that.
She's
Well,
watching.
then you need to exit my vehicle.
Go in the light.
Yep.
Take pictures. If there's any scratch, go in the light.
Trust me.
I need this lady to get out of my vehicle, please.
Well, good. If it's her, we can hear some of the backstory. You only can take what you see from the video, but
Wow.
so
That's
She
amazing.
says, she says it sure is her. So yeah.
all right, I'll
absolutely.
keep playing it here. So
done. I'm not gonna go pick them up. I need you guys to exit.
Go into the light. Go into the light.
I'm done.
Go into the light.
I need you not to scream at me.
No, I'm not screaming at you. Go into the light.
You just said so. I'm
No, if
done.
I damage you.
Okay, I need you to exit my vehicle.
You
Exit
tell
my
him.
vehicle. Because this trip is done and over
No,
with.
Maria, I can understand why you don't like
Because
seeing
That
this.
has nothing to do with that.
I'm done.
That has nothing to
I'm
do
done.
with that. Trust me, that has nothing.
I'm done.
Like how she pointed to the
I
camera.
don't
That's
matter, but
awesome.
this is my vehicle. This is my personal vehicle, and I want you to exit the vehicle. Whoa! You're on camera, lady. You're on camera.
I'm sorry, but
Look at this. I'm calling the cops right now.
Hold on.
Look
Maria,
at
we
this,
need
what
you
you
on
just
our
did.
podcast.
Kyle, I need you to come and see the mess that just happened.
So clearly
Look at
Kyle ordered the ride.
Look at what she just did.
Yeah, she threw chocos.
Look at what she did. And this is on camera,
What
by
an
the way.
ass.
This is your responsibility right now.
I'll clean it up.
Look at the back.
I'll clean it up.
You'll clean it up?
Yeah, and she's gonna pay for it. But like, I was just taking pictures of the.
I'm sure there's nothing wrong with
scratches.
that. This is way more. This is my night is done. I can't.
Okay, for no reason. For no reason. I told you.
I
just
needed
take
you
me
exit.
away.
I'm calling the 911.
Oh,
Get away.
fine.
Get away. Look at this. I can't. I'm done Ubering for the night. I can't even. What? Look what
I
you
was trying
did.
to get your
This is my
parents. Was I
job.
not?
This is my job.
Was I not trying to get your parents?
Because this is my job. I'm losing money.
But okay, well, you're gonna have to pay for this.
Okay, I'll pay
I'm
for it.
losing
But I was
money.
trying to get his parents. That's what
I don't know
made
who
it
you're
It's like you
talking
threw
about.
food in my
Not
face.
my parents.
You threw
Those
food
are
in
Not
my.
mine.
Those are your parents?
I mean, you
No,
threw
this is
food in
my
my
house.
face.
This
You-
is my house.
You
So-
are
It
wrong,
wasn't
lady.
your parents? That wasn't your parents?
I don't know who. What?
So that was crazy. And Maria,
Sorry you had to go through that.
yeah,
That's
so
tough.
sorry, Maria. That was crazy. And I gotta tell you, I think you acted absolutely correctly.
Yeah.
Get them out of your car, and call 911. And I hope that was a 911 call went through and the cop showed up and did something, because man,
That
wow.
was crazy.
Here's the part of the story that I didn't get. Were they trying to pick up his parents? Is that what I heard? Because
I don't know about that.
She said there's a really long backstory.
Yeah, so maybe we need to have her on at some point and talk about it. But people
she got
di-
the 150.
did she?
Yeah.
What I
It's
don't
still
under-
not worth it.
people
with what she had
don't
to go
realize
through.
that this is our personal vehicle. When
Yeah.
you trash it,
Right.
it's not just you're trashing a company or trashing that company's car. You're disrespecting the person and the vehicle.
How about the money lost though? That's
Yeah.
for a full time driver, that's terrible.
Absolutely. And Maria, you did get the maximum that Uber will pay out at this point, the 150. And you're right. You brought up the loss of income. Unfortunately, Uber will not recognize the loss of income. That's not what they're paying for. They're paying the
Right.
cleaning fee. So that is.
Here's my thought, though. I'm throwing this out there. Could you take that person? I want to ask Maria, did they find that person? I know originally when I was reading the text about it, they were trying to identify the girl. I mean, it looks like the male ordered the ride. So,
Yeah, I don't
but
know.
anyways, I wonder if you could take that person to small claims court and say,
Oh,
hey,
you can sue anyone for anything.
right. I just wonder if it would be worth it. I'm not sure the residual and
Yeah.
I mean, there's probably still taco meat in there somewhere. I mean, let's face it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to get everything out of it.
No, she's gonna have to get it professionally cleaned.
Yeah.
I mean that's the problem, right? I mean, well, she may not. I mean, there's some pretty. I mean, it reminds me of another story we had last week, and I'm not going to mention the person by name because at this point she hasn't, told me that I can. But we had another story a couple weekends ago where she ended up moving for a person, and this person just left a complete mess in the car. And it was both the back seat and the trunk, and the back seat was just soaked through.
Yeah.
Because these moving bags had apparently stood in water.
Yeah. It sounded like the guy was a piece of work anyways.
Well, right, absolutely. Good on you, Maria. That's up to the prosecutors. So it sounds like there's something else going on. So
Yeah. I mean,
we really hope that something comes out of that.
yeah, I could feel her adrenaline towards the
yeah.
end of that. Like, we've all been in that situation where you're like, well, you're driving. I mean, not that where someone did something to us, but just you can kind of feel like, I'm sure you felt that with your ride, even though you handled it well. I'm sure you were like, okay, my blood pressure's riding a little. This could turn into some sort of argument. I applaud Maria for not swearing at them, because I would have been like, oh my gosh, I would have lost my ass.
Man. Let me just put this out there, and I don't know if there's anything at all that we can do to help you, Maria, that we hasn't been done already, but go ahead and email us at team@grrideshadventures.com. We can kind of figure out if there's anything else we can do to help you out later on. I don't know if there is, But I mean, it's you've been through a lot, so
Yeah. Freaking tacos.
Seriously.
I couldn't believe that. And they came hard too.
They must have not been very good tacos to just throw them.
Yeah, she must have not been intoxicated enough because when you've got a good buzz on and you've been drinking tacos or pizza, like that's like the best thing ever.
But here's the thing, though: it was a woman who tossed it. I bet Kyle wouldn't have tossed them.
No,
tacos.
Kyle would not have tossed them. In fact, she probably heard about it later when she got the fee and no tacos.
Right.
So that's a lose-lose on their.
Judging by that video, I felt like the male rider kind of escalated it first. Because he did say, you couldn't say what swear word he said, but that's when things kind of started going downhill.
Right. Either way, terrible. So, next,
just know, Maria, you did the right thing.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
handled it like a champ.
Right,
Yep, absolutely.
She was a lot calmer than, like I said, I would have been if somebody threw tacos at me.
Ooh, it's over.
I probably would have to call the cops on myself because I'm like, are you kidding me? It's not only just the mess, but how disrespectful. Just call me a nasty name. Do you have to throw tacos? Like, you ruined everything.
Right.
Idiot.
And thank you, David. You're right. We do eat too many tacos.
I had 50 today.
There's nothing wrong with tacos. I mean,
we can laugh at ourselves and our sizes. It's all good.
Is that what he's saying to us?
Oh yeah, these guys look like they've had too many tacos.
Oh, rude.
It's okay.
Rude.
I'm a grown man. I can live with
it. Yeah. I'll laugh at you while I eat my taco and drink my beer.
Right.
So next up, thanks again, Maria, for chiming in. That's pretty cool that you were the actual person we were talking to. That's never happened. So we've all heard about cargo, and I don't know if you can share that link, Ben, in the chat. Or do you have our?
It won't do the hyperlink, but I can put it there, and they can copy and paste.
It doesn't do hyperlinks in live stream.
Nope.
Okay. Well, in the Google Doc, you'll have the link. So Cargo just raised a ton more money. If you don't know what Cargo is, and it is basically a mobile vending machine for rideshare drivers. Originally, when it came out, it sounded like it was pretty clunky. Like you had to go to the browser and you had to like enter a password. And I don't know if it's more streamlined, but what the driver can earn a couple $100 more a month. And a lot of the products that they have in Cargo, they give away. So like the passenger doesn't have to pay anything like gum or et cetera. Obviously, they're passing back some headphones. I'm sure those aren't free. But they still have to go onto the app and request it. And I'm excited. I have been emailing Cargo like crazy. There's a guy in the Grand Rapids group. Somehow he got a Cargo box.
What?
Because he's not in Grand Rapids.
Well, he is. You're right. He drives in Grand Rapids, but he's from Detroit or Ann Arbor. And gosh, it's driving me so. Oh, I guess there is a video on it. I don't know why it's not playing audio, but anyways, so Ben's going to share that, and you can just check it out for yourself. Sign up. I know in Grand Rapids it's waitlisted, but it eventually will come, especially with this big venture capital. What is it? What they say? 22 million.
22 and a half.
22 and a half. So I'm waiting for it. I mean, they're partnered with Uber, which I hate. I mean, we talked about it a couple months ago when that partnership got. I just don't want them to be part of Uber. I wish they would have just stayed by themselves and said, hey, we're independent. We're going to support the rideshare drivers because you always feel like Uber's going to have that little influence on them. You know, like, hey, do this. You know what I mean? And
maybe Uber threatened them or something.
I don't know, but it pisses me off that they.
Probably the one who gave the $22.5 million.
You know, yeah, exactly. You know, it's funny. I'm interested to see how this works for drivers that have an Uber X car where they don't have a ton of room. I mean,
yeah.
Can you drove in your Mazda, right?
Honda Civic.
Yeah, your Honda Civic. Where are you going to put that? I don't know. I mean, where people are going to see it. And even so, I rest my arm on there. I mean, I think I'll be able to adjust and rest it on top of that, but I feel it's kind of made for XL vehicles.
Right.
So I don't know. I know there'll be plenty of people in Grand Rapids that will like it. So, but yeah, read that article. It's pretty good. And I'm excited for them to come to Grand Rapids.
Jamie Lynn is on. Hey, Jamie.
Hope you're feeling better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sent a message to her today where I was like, man, she wrote something about someone was complaining in our group about, Uber takes 90% of my money or half my money. And like Jamie broke it down.
She did all the math.
Yeah. And I was like,
great.
that was great. And then someone said something. She's like, I'm just explaining how it works. Like, it was just a good response. And I was like, Jamie, we need you on the podcast. Like, you're so smart when it comes to that stuff. So, next article up is about should you tip your Uber driver, and if so, how much?
More than a cent.
I mean, yeah. Are you sure? I mean,
I feel a little strong about that.
yeah. There's no video with this, and we go back and forth on tipping and if you should and yada yada. But I mean, like I said earlier, if everyone just left $1, that would be great.
Yeah.
I mean, every weekend you do 20 trips. Let's say you do 10 on Friday, 10. That's $20, $80 a month.
Covers your gas.
Covers a lot of your gas. Yeah, for sure. So, someone, this is interesting. Brett Helling is a former Uber driver, now owns and runs Ridester.com. So I went to the website and was like, yeah. I mean, you got in this article, and I don't know, not to hate on him, but it looks like they're an adequate consultant agreed for U.S. rides. She recommends.
Can you say that word one more time?
Etiquette.
You said adequate. It was awesome.
Did I?
You did.
And we're going to have to go back and listen to this. Did I say adequate? I probably read the cue. I looked at the word. She recommends tipping between 15 and 20% for exceptional service, 10 to 15 for good service, and 10% for average service. I'd be happy with 10% for any kind of service. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sorry, Maria just sent us a message. All our phones vibrated.
That's awesome.
I was like, my watch went up.
I thought it was another presidential alert.
Oh, God.
I didn't even get that.
Really?
You didn't?
No.
I was in an
It was probably
appointment.
because I was way out in the boonies.
Oh,
already.
yeah.
It came in at like 218.
Yep, I was gone.
So it's interesting. You know, you always take some of these articles with a grain of salt, but it says many Uber trips can be more expensive than a standard cab. I don't think so. Not anymore. Back when it started, maybe.
Well, but okay. So here's the thing: the many, they're referring to the ones like 205, right, in high season that goes 5, 6, and 7 times surge. Yeah, sure.
Or they're talking about Uber Black.
Yeah, I mean,
But even then, Uber Black's supposed to be comparable to the taxis, right?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
I think more than. I mean, I think a lot of the.
Because look,
the
Select
full-timers
is even
can talk
close to
about this.
taxis.
And I know the prices differ in different markets. We know that, but there's no way in our markets that it's. I mean, here it's like half, like a normal size, a normal price ride. It's like half of what
I would say it's like a third.
cab. Yeah.
Well, it's crazy,
Fact
though, in
check.
some of those rides, when you do a ride and they give $5 tip, that's sometimes more than the ride.
Right.
You know, which is
Yeah.
crazy to think about. Like, they give you a $5 tip and it's more than what the ride was.
No kidding.
But this is kind of a good article. It's got some good stats in here. It says passengers who tip typically, or according to Mr. Helling's data, which is the Ridester.com, they average about 5.5%, which is not very good.
No.
And I've talked about this several times, is 98% of Grubhub tip. I'm delivering your food, but I'm delivering you as a human being, and I don't get tipped because I didn't. But did you die? Like from The Hangover, like, but did you die?
Right.
So, and we do depend on your tips. If you can give me, $20 extra a night or even a weekend, I mean, that really helps. With
how
gas.
many nights have you had a super slow night, but people tipped you really well?
And it saved your night.
It saved your night.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, last weekend I made.
Shut up with your puker. We don't care.
No. I probably made $70.
Your 1 cent?
$70?
Including my cash tips.
Was that $70.01?
No, that was the
the
weekend.
weekend before.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're just such a nice guy. Your rating doesn't reflect it, but
Oh.
You were trying to point that out.
I was leading you into that.
Mine went up, by the way.
Did it?
Are you a
Good job.
4.9 now? Attaboy.
I kept wavering between 4.9 and 4.89.
What are we talking, Uber or Lyft?
Uber.
I think I'm a 4.92 on Uber and a 4.94 on Lyft.
Are you ready for this one? 497 on Lyft, 492 on Uber.
He's taking
you
4
accept,
rides.
like 2 rides a night.
Hey, that's still 2 rides.
I refuse to say what I am. Anyway,
Yeah, what are you on that?
488.
You refuse.
Well, that's the problem. You stop pissing people off or you're taking being nice.
Send that text.
Send that text and cancel.
So
Cancel,
stop talking.
cancel.
Stop talking. Paul.
Cancel.
Use Waze.
Cancel.
So
Stop bitching about construction.
Cancel.
Paul is mentioning that he has a visible tip jar and headrest signs. So the question is, does that actually help, Paul?
You know, was it you that we used to clip it, or was it Matt? Remember Matt from Papa Lock? I think visual does help. I
don't like the look of it.
I'm a 4.9 on Lyft.
Let me see.
Well, they don't round. They round it up, so you could be.
I could be a 4.87.
Yes, they round it up. So when you look at your profile, when you get your report, that gives you the exact. But sorry, I didn't mean to shoot you down. What were we talking about?
Paul and headrest.
Oh yeah, the visual thing.
Yep,
that is true. I mean, I do keep cash on my little center part of my console so that people see it. And I think that does remind people. I don't know if I want to put a jar in there. Do you remember when I had that tablet and I ran that software? I don't anymore. And it actually had, don't forget to tip your driver. You guys want to get a room?
Yes.
Okay. And I felt like I got more tips because they was watching the screen and it had games on it and et cetera. But it also every 2 minutes popped up. Don't forget to tip your driver.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know if putting a tip jar out is something that I would do.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that works, but I think a visual.
Right.
I think maybe a sign. Like I see some of those signs.
No, I like the tip jars with the chargers with them.
Yeah.
I think those are nice.
Yeah, I've seen those. You know, those were hot and heavy for a while on the Facebook pages and all the groups, but I don't see anyone talking about them. Does Paul have a tip jar? Is that what he said?
He does, and
He
so
does.
so does Cece.
And she
Well,
gets
Cece
less.
has a headrest sign.
Yeah, a sign.
And she gets at least $40 a week in tips.
And she also has the chargers. Like
Yeah,
her
she
car
does.
is tricked
I
out.
used to. I mean,
The
it
power
is.
pad.
I used to have the chargers, but I'm tired of it. People steal them. I mean,
People steal them.
Yeah, I've had three cables and they're gone.
Yeah, I mean, everyone has a different philosophy as far as what service they provide. CC does go above and beyond, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't provide anything.
I think it's a difference between full-time and part-time.
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
probably.
Yeah. I still think I should hook up one of those video games to my.
You keep talking about that. I think that would be great.
Be sweet, right? Too.
And we need to, when you do that, we need to do like a study about see how your tips go up. Like
that obviously have to be the bar crowd though.
Yeah,
of course. No, it has.
no,
to be.
for like
Yeah, yeah.
for 1 month you do it without. The next month
I would just do one of the cheapos, one of those
plug-in ones,
$30 ones, whatever. Well, because I have an HDMI in, they just
how's
plug
bragging
in.
camp?
Huh?
I said how's bragging camp?
Shut up. So, but yeah, so it's just be fun to see.
See your rating go up.
I think I would be in heaven if the best part was if you had duck hunt. You walk in there and there's a pistol. I'd be like, oh my gosh, you're getting $20.
That looked really good for the cop that drives by you.
No, oh yeah. Make sure your windows are completely tinted out.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh, that would be so fun. I would probably hug my driver if they had duck hunt in the car.
There was a kid in Grand Rapids that rocked the Super Nintendo in the back of his small car.
Really?
Yeah. I haven't seen him in forever, but
this is what we need to do. We need to you get your Nintendo in there, and then you need to pick me up, and then we need to have do a video. That would be awesome. Playing Super Mario Brothers and duck hunt
while he's driving.
Well, no, me play it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that would be so fun. Sorry. All right, next up, a married woman and her lover called an Uber to go to a hotel. Her husband was the driver.
There's a couple of things.
Why wouldn't you use Lyft?
Okay, yeah, I was going to be like...
Well, maybe he drives both.
No, it's not even... He was like borrowing a friend's account.
Who was?
The Uber driver.
So he wasn't even a real driver?
No, because
I didn't read the
story...
I didn't read it.
No, I haven't read it yet.
If you read the story...
Terrible host.
The passengers didn't know
Yimey.
They recognized the name because it wasn't her husband's name. He
Oh,
was borrowing the account and car of somebody to drive for Uber.
to make
Did
money.
she order the Uber or did the lover?
Well,
I
then
don't
it's
know.
not even. I mean, it's still a story there because it's awkward what happened. But
They're both in the wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I didn't know that. I should read the article.
Maybe you should read the things that you want to put
No,
on the
I was
podcast.
cramming. I'm sorry. But how awkward would that be? Like
Seriously.
your side piece, and you're like, what? Megan's gonna yell at me for saying side piece. Oh, you're such a piece of trash. Don't say that. So yeah, we'll post that one too if you want to read it. Apparently, I don't read things, so. So we're gonna jump into unless you guys got anything else.
Nope.
Okay. We're gonna jump into our tip time, and this
Tip time.
sponsored by.
Just the tip.
Oh gosh. Oh yeah, just
We don't need to do it because it's in the app.
what is
The tip.
tips in the app,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's no tip.
I'll
time
tip
today.
you in the app.
It's in the app.
Yeah, anyone wants to sponsor this, we would be happy to take your money.
I got to bring one thing up real quick.
Okay, I know Jesper's been looking at his screen for like 15 minutes.
I know what he's
Well,
looking
not
at.
a
Power
tip.
pod.
No, it's
PowerPod. So Cece brought up a new type of charger that connects to your headrest. It's called a PowerPod.
That's not new.
POWA pod.
it's
No,
pretty pricey too.
I don't know, but it
I-
looks cool. I want one.
Well, I looked, unless the prices have come down, it looked pretty expensive.
Like $30 or $40.
No, I thought it was more than that.
It's $40.
Yeah.
Oh,
See?
okay.
Maybe you should read.
Back
Maybe-
check.
Maybe I should. Maybe I should just listen to Nick.
Don't know.
Did you have a
Don't do
point
that. That's
to
a
interrupt
terrible
me?
idea.
No, that's it. I'm good.
Oh, you good now?
Yeah, I'm good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cece.
When doing Uber Eats delivery and a customer requests you leave the food on the porch and do not knock on the door or ring the doorbell, always make sure you take a picture of the address and the food sitting on the doorstep to ensure you'll get paid, so the customer cannot say that the food was not delivered, so it will ensure that you get paid for the delivery.
I've seen this a lot on the groups.
Yeah, that's actually a good tip, and I know I said I was going to do it for a month, but I wanted to die. I did it for 2 weekends, so I haven't written that article about that, but that is really a good tip. I haven't had anyone ask me to do that, but that makes sense.
Have you ever ate food from your passenger's order?
So it's interesting that you brought that up because there's
All
a
the time.
video right under this tip time about that we're going to show. I have not. That's creepy and
Yeah.
disgusting.
no
Disgusting.
kidding.
It's really disgusting.
Yeah, some guy was helping himself to the fries of an order.
Right.
Hey, just wait. Don't
Don't-
ruin it.
Yeah, don't blow my.
Wait, sorry, I didn't know you. I guess I should have read.
Oh,
Maybe
you
if
should have
looked at
read.
it.
So yeah, that's actually a good tip. I've never had it happen. Like leave the food. That'd be creepy, anyways. Hey, leave the food.
Well, maybe you got young kids or dogs or something.
No,
or, you know.
I can see that. I can see
See
that.
this is unrelated, but the pizza delivery where they left a note for him to yell that their pizza was there.
No, is that the
Pizza's
one where
here?
he was hungover?
No,
Oh, there was one that like the specific instructions were to like open the door, bring the food inside. I'm hungover in bed. Like, please deliver it. And
I
like,
would never walk in.
no.
no.
Yeah.
So this pizza delivery guy stood outside and just yelled at the top of his lungs, "Stacy, your pizza is here!" It's amazing.
Like that's what the guy requested. And
Yeah.
I love those. Those are so funny. Did you see that video I posted of the Domino delivery self-driving?
Yes.
yeah,
That's creepy.
that is pretty weird.
It's happening. It's coming to a city near you.
Not
Okay.
in the winter.
Oh, it'll be fine. So this is a video, and I did not.
Why didn't you preload this one?
So this one wouldn't preload.
Okay.
I tried to save it to the desktop so we didn't have to buffer or anything, and I apologize for the buffering. Or...
Maybe this guy will join us on our podcast or live stream as well.
No. Okay. So just the backstory of this. This is videos from Australia. These guys are a hoot. I think that's a radio show in Australia. So the backstory is the guy takes a little sample of the food. So I'm gonna play it right here.
Yeah, to make sure of the quality for the customer.
A good friend of mine had the home security system going. So you've got to come and have a look at this one, old pal. So here he comes. He walks up to the door. This is the Uber delivery bloke. He rings the doorbell, has a bit of a look. has a crack at the door. No one around. Has a look inside the bag. Likes what he sees. Puts his hand into the bag and chomps down on the fries. What do you reckon? Zuna, you've seen that for the first time. Come in here, mate. What do you reckon? How good's that?
That is your hamburger right there. That is, you've got to keep your eyes on your fries. I mean, the poor guy. They're not getting paid very well. The Uber delivery drivers.
Yeah,
you know
I mean,
what? Occasionally
thanks for rubbing that
if
in.
you can't get a tip, you got to get a chip.
Mate, poor guy.
That's
You're
a
feeling for
t-shirt.
the Uber driver.
Mate, he's
Put
had
his
one
hand
chip,
in your
one
dinner.
fry.
Oh, mate, that's great.
He's had one chip, mate.
Because that's what you want, isn't it? It's a bit like the waiter coming out who's hungry. You're pretty happy with him just eat, one of the spuds off your plate on his way into the.
I mean, one as a delivery fee.
Yeah,
for bringing it from the kitchen.
Hasn't had a break. That sounds fair enough. I mean, that
Incredible.
that is just,
Hand in. And he's pulled out the good chip too.
The real long one.
A real long one, she says.
I
Of
would
course.
hate to be that
Why
guy.
was he trying to open their door?
No, I think they had one of those rack things.
a rapper?
Still,
Like
why
a
would
ra-
you even try and open that?
I think he was trying to you wrap it so it makes noise, so it's like the doorbell.
Okay.
It's like
That must
before
be
your
old
time.
school.
Yeah,
was gonna
I
say,
mean, what are you, 23?
what are you, 80?
Well, it says, I love this. It says, the poor guy wasn't paid very well. If you can't get a tip, you got to get a chip. That is great.
It is.
Verbal trademark, even though I didn't write it.
What if those were crack fries, though?
Oh, man.
I'd be tempted.
I'd take more than one.
Seriously.
But no, I have not. I mean, that's just so weird. Why would you do that? I mean,
Don't touch the food.
yes.
Seriously.
I mean,
Where was his hot bag, by the way? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, you
oh,
just gotta
I
take a
am.
bag.
I would guess that most. So, let me back up. I would guess that most Uber Eats delivery people do not have hot bags
Why wouldn't you?
because they don't require them.
Aren't they free, though?
I don't think they are. I
No,
think you have to
no.
pay them. Yeah, Nick's writing down.
Back check.
But like Grubhub and Postmates and or not Postmates, DoorDash, they all send you a hot bag or a cold bag or
Whatever
however.
happened to the other one?
Which one?
Joyrun?
That's
It's
dead.
still around. I haven't been really following it much. I know it's launched in Allendale now, but
Yeah.
I should look into that. Liberty Clark is an avid
Well,
Joy
that,
runner.
that one guy pushed it really hard when it first came. And I haven't heard from him since.
Yeah.
Yeah, I helped them a little bit. They printed a bunch of flyers for the DeVos Children's Hospital, and Megan passed them out. I mean, I should have asked for a kickback, but I didn't. But whatever. I mean, if anything, I mean,
Stop being nice.
well, I mean, no one rides for free.
Who printed them?
They did.
Hashtag printer.
Hashtag printer. No one knows that except Amy and us. But I'll have to tell you something later about that. It's funny. Not about Amy, but about saying things on the podcast that no one knows about but us.
Right.
Too bad we didn't have a t-shirt. But yeah, Joyrun, I don't know. Joyrun's it's kind of a different philosophy where you try to get multiple orders for a specific restaurant, and I like the concept of it that you don't have to go to the house. You say, "Hey, meet me at Michigan and Eastern, and I'll have all your food." So that's kind of nice. They come to you more instead of you driving.
I would rather use Uber Eats and just have it delivered to me.
Yeah, I've used lately. I've used Grubhub and Uber Eats
Or Grubhub,
a couple of times. So I
I
encourage you to
will
use.
not use Grubhub.
Why not?
Because they denied me. I will not.
Oh,
So you won't support them?
I'm saying right now, please use Grubhub. They are a better company. They pay their drivers fairer.
You just got canceled by Uber, by the way.
I don't care.
Their fare is fairer.
This segment sponsored by Grubhub.
No, it's not sponsored by them. I am an active driver, and I prefer Grubhub over Uber Eats. Hence the little experiment.
Can
How long did
restaurant
that last?
owners or restaurant staff be Grubhub drivers too?
I would assume so. I heard that Grubhub, and maybe we can fact check this, that rakes their customer or their restaurants over the coals. They take a ton, like 35 or 40%.
Grubhub?
No.
I can figure that out for you because of Nicole.
Oh, well, good. Uber Eats takes that much from the customer.
They take 30% of food cost.
The restaurant. I'm sorry, I keep saying customer. Well, it's their customer.
They take 30% of food cost.
Man, 30 or 40.
I heard 30%.
I heard it's bigger than Grubhub. So just support Grubhub. It's a better company.
End of story.
End of story. So last segment that we have is the questions from our Facebook groups. So one of them, does XL earn significantly?
Significantly?
This is the second podcast.
How
of the
many
night.
beers have you had tonight?
I've had 2.
He's
so,
rolling deep.
Rolling deep. Do they earn more than others? And this is the tried and true question that we see a lot. If you are
Mind your own business.
What?
Keep going.
They yes, they do earn quite a bit more. But if you are a full-time driver, I don't think it's worth it.
Well,
if
it depends on what market you're in, though.
Well, I think if you're a weekend warrior, I think it's worth it. But if you're driving on a Tuesday night or Tuesday afternoon at 2 p.m., it's not worth it.
In Grand Rapids.
In Grand Rapids, yeah.
I mean, I like my XL, but I'm also only a weekend warrior.
Right. Did you get your, I don't know where my phone is. I threw it down, but your little stats from Uber today?
I did. That was a new one.
Yeah, it was. What was your percentage, how much you earned? All right, I'm going to get my...
from Uber.
Hold on. I got to get my phone.
What are these stats we're talking about?
I got an email.
My September in the rear view.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So here's a look back at what you've accomplished this month. So I didn't
get
35
anything.
trips in September because I had a couple of weekends where I did not drive. So that was 60 less trips than the month before. So I drove almost 100 trips in August.
We don't need all of them. I just want to know, because it'll take forever. What was your trip per hour average? What's that stat say for you?
I don't have that.
I
think it's different.
It says your trip per hour average was higher than 57% of the drivers in Grand Rapids.
Wow. Where do you see that? See, I don't have that stat.
That's so interesting. It has my earnings from the last 4 weeks.
I have that too.
It has how many days I drove. It has how many trips.
Wait, how many trips did you do? 36?
No, I did 97 trips in
35.
September.
I did 36.
I did 97 trips in September. That's 76 more than last month.
How much did you make?
I'm not going to say how much I made.
Oh.
But it says your trip per hour average was 57% higher than 57% of the drivers. Did you get that stat?
What?
Oh my gosh, are you even listening?
Nope.
No.
I didn't get any stats.
I got 2 new compliments though. I got compliment for excellent service.
Why am I the only one that got that stat?
I didn't even get the email.
No, back up.
I think
don't have it.
Slow down. I made more than you.
I think it's because you had many more rides than us.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't even get the email at all? Probably went to spam. Yeah.
I like how it said I had 28 5-star, but none of them showed up on my account.
Well, yeah, so it said I had 37 and I took 97 trips. So that means most people didn't rate.
Right.
I feel kind of special. Well, I'm gonna do a poll then about that.
You're not special.
Our trip per average. I'm curious how many people got it. So interesting. So bottom line, we got away from our question. Yes, they do earn more on our market. We can only go on our market, right? Because we only work here. I would say if you're a weekend warrior, XL is worth it. But I wouldn't go out and buy a specific vehicle for that. I mean, if you have a family and an XL, great, but I wouldn't buy one specifically.
Yeah, Uber XL was an afterthought when I was buying my car.
Was it?
We got it for the family. And then I get home and I was like, oh, I think this is an XL.
Yeah. Not a Select, though.
No. You had to bring that up.
Yeah.
So that brings up the next question. Is Select worth it yet in our
No, absolutely not.
There's not enough requests.
So interesting. I know this is another, well, it's not really a side tangent. We went to a show in Flint on Sunday night. We thought
you made it back?
Yeah. Yeah. It actually wasn't that bad where we were. I know. When you don't know where, if you're not familiar with the area here, Flint, you're like, oh my gosh, the entire town's a dump. Although my wife lived in a suburb of Flint, and it was
Flushing.
So we thought about going to eat and then taking Uber. And typically when I'm in Detroit, I always take Select or Premier. I don't take the lower ends. Not that I'm a baller. No, I want just a nicer ride because I feel
you're a baller.
No, I feel like the driver and are better drivers when you
they are
in nicer cars. Not because I want a super nice car. I just don't want. I mean, I've been in some Lyft classics.
You don't want a Jesper.
Oh wow. That's so rude.
That was a dig.
I'm gonna want that beer back.
anyways, I was in Flint. They don't offer that. They only offer XL and X. They don't offer Select in Flint. I mean, I know they do in Detroit, but I was like, I guess we'll drive, and it was fine. We parked right next to the venue, and it was great. So, so this is kind of interesting. I got to stop saying, I've been trying to work on that, but it didn't work there. I'm tired. It's scored 11. Is the lift amp considered trade dress?
No.
Nope. Well, no. So apparently, I hate you guys sometimes. This is getting off the rails. Nick had posted this. Detroit Metro Airport.
Yep.
They were getting tickets because people were using the lift amp as trade dress. And now, were they getting tickets from the police or
the airport
police?
Yes.
So in Detroit,
Rent-a-cop.
well, they're not rent
they
a
go
cop.
through all the same training, everything.
That cop that you
Shut
see
up, Ben.
at GR Airport,
He can arrest you.
That is a police officer. You
Mess
will
with
go,
him.
all
I
right.
dare you.
No, the DK security are rent a cop.
Yes.
So when they tell you something, you say, "Yeah, bye, Felicia." But it's not considered trade dress, and I hope it doesn't come here because I don't have the actual trade dress from Uber.
It's easy to get. You just do it right through the app.
Absolutely, it's easy to get, but I don't want them on my window. I like my little light up sign. But it could be coming to Grand Rapids. So if you're in Detroit, the amp does not count as trade dress, and you will get a ticket. Another quick side note: we were talking to Experience GR. So they actually knew some info about our Uber lot. Remember we were looking up that? They know all about it.
Yep.
They were talking about it like, yeah, it's actually going to be past the cell phone lot. So where you turn into the cell phone lot and you go way to the back, they're building it right now.
Nice.
But there'll be more details about it on the interview.
Absolutely.
Correct.
They actually asked, Lisa asked us to reach out to Uber and Lyft and tell them to tell people to pick up at door 1, which really makes sense because we're going by where the shuttle is, where door 4 is, and it's very congested. She made a good point. There's nobody at door 1.
Yeah.
How many empty spaces do you pass at? So, I mean, I can reach out to Uber and Lyft. They don't care about me, but
we can reach out.
But that's where they want people to pick up is door 1. So
I always
are the doors numbered?
I don't think they are.
They're not. It's just by what airlines.
I call ahead and ask what airline they came in on. And then
so you can do that, but you can't send text messages to your riders?
What is this? Dig on Jesper?
No kidding.
I haven't seen him in a while.
Fight.
You can throw something at him, but you do have to pay for the cost of the repair of the equipment.
I don't have any tacos.
No.
I ate them all.
But yeah, that's a good idea to call them and figure out.
Actually, now that that's something that they're going to try to push, maybe we, in our stock text that we send, maybe we should say, hey, we'll pick you up at door 1 on the commercial side. Yeah. It's a thought. I'm trying to think there's a shelter right there, isn't there? At door, or quote unquote, door 1, right when you come around the corner, or is there not?
Not for pedestrians.
The first one, no.
No? Okay.
That's over by the shuttle area.
Okay. But yeah, I never see that congested. So maybe that's something we can start doing on our stock text. Say, hey, we'll pick you up at door 1. Well, Lyft says door 4.
Well, what's door 1? I mean, it's not going to work until they have the actual signage up.
Well, clearly Lyft knows about it because every Lyft passenger is at that area every single time. Uber is not.
I don't know if you
today.
If you noticed on Uber, if the passenger doesn't specify where they're at when they request it, it always says door 4.
Not on Uber.
Mm-hmm.
It does? I don't think Uber says anything.
Yeah, it says door 4.
Pick up at door 4.
No, it says commercial lane. It says curbside.
But door
Somebody
4.
Does it?
it.
Yeah, it's so small.
Anyways.
That's what she said.
Wow, this is getting off the rails.
Anyways, that's why I call ahead.
Okay.
And I say, well, where are you at? So I know where you're at. So
no, that's good to do. Speaking of the Uber app telling you that, and this is another side tangent, it's rideshare related. I don't like on the Uber app where it doesn't tell you if it tells you if it's an XL and X or Select, but it's the same type. And I've missed a couple XLs because I looked at it real quick. Can it be in a different color, different font?
I think you need glasses.
I do need I do have glasses, but
I think you're getting old.
You should wear them.
Thank you. I didn't have to say it.
I hate you all.
I have no problem, but I can't.
Snowflake.
I can't take Select either. So I don't know. I don't have.
Well, I think in correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the old app had it just. I don't know. It just seems so much easier to.
I think the print was bigger on the old app.
No, that's true.
Maybe Justin can specify for us if the old app had select better than the new app, because we don't know.
Last time Justin was on, he didn't have anything right. So
yeah.
Sorry, Justin, I'm trying.
Because he's got like 100 kids.
Yeah, no kidding. So the last question, I think Nick posted it, so I don't know.
If live in a shoe?
So real fast, for Cece's asking, is door 1 the first or the last door?
Door 1 is the first stop sign that
coming
you come
in.
up to.
Yeah, I think we should start doing it. Clearly, it's in the works to move that to door 1.
I'm gonna continue calling.
Well, you can do whatever you want, but
I will.
In Portland, they have
you
signs.
get a signature flight. You're gonna meet me at door 1, and you're gonna like it.
Oh no, there's signs coming in at GRR too.
Really?
Yes.
They're
awesome.
Yeah.
Never mind, I won't say it.
What?
They said it was like a month out. The signs.
They did? I thought that it was further out, but there are signs coming in. There are some changes coming down. I know we've tried to fact check that. We couldn't find any articles about that. But these guys, Experienced GR, they
know everything.
They had some information that, they knew a ton. I could have talked to them for hours about the city.
That's awesome.
So I'm super excited to partner with them. Last question. I had a rider take a picture of the inside of my vehicle when they got out. I know it was not a selfie or anything. Why would a rider do that?
Comes back to the false vomiting claims from drivers.
Oh yeah, of course. Maybe they did it to make
Say that they didn't vomit.
This is what the car looked like when I left it.
I would think they just did it because they were going to make a complaint. Maybe
it's a safeguard of that driver filing that vomit fee.
I can see that.
You remember how much that was in the news?
It's been twice. It's been in the news.
It's the same reason as to why we have cameras in our car.
Yeah.
And again, so if you do that, it's not a bad idea to do that. But remember to keep your location services on so that the picture gets the
GPS coordinates.
GPS coordinates, metadata. Yeah.
And if you don't want the driver to know, put your phone on vibrate before you take the picture.
Yeah.
That's why they found out, the driver did, because they snapped it and went or the shutter sound or whatever. So whatever. I'm just saying.
People can take a picture of my car.
I know, but I would be a little off-putting too. I'm like, that's a lot.
What are you doing?
I wouldn't. I'd understand.
Yeah.
Wouldn't
I
bother
almost
me.
said something terrible, and that would end the podcast.
But it's the same thing, though, right? I mean, it's their protection, And
No, I get it. I
hate all the. I mean, let me put this again. If you are an Uber driver, a Lyft driver, and you run that scam,
if you put as much effort into the scam, you'd probably make more money. As much effort as you try to rip people off. I always think about criminals. Like
just doing it right.
Do it right. If you don't want to, I don't know. You're always going to have crooks in any line of business you're in. So
it's true.
Any other questions on the live stream at all, or we've lost everyone except CC and Justin?
We haven't really had anybody on the YouTube.
Oh, that's not surprising.
No, we had some last time.
Yeah, so that's been blank.
Maybe it's because
no one commented at all.
No.
Did you put it? Did you live on? Did you put YouTube on?
I'm live on YouTube. No viewers.
Did you share the link?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Not on YouTube.
Not on YouTube.
Share the
Maybe we need
Facebook
to start
one.
doing that.
Well, where are we going to share it to?
Facebook, Twitter.
No. Let's get too complicated. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. Again, we reiterate, please subscribe to the podcast on any app that.
Can we bring that up real quick before
YouTube?
And the YouTube. Oh yeah.
Let's bring that up.
We are at 959 subscribers.
Right. Yeah. Why didn't we bring up at that beginning after everyone left? Gosh, who's running this show? So we are making a push to 1,000 subscribers, and we're going to have a contest when we hit it. One $50 Amazon gift card, and we have two $25 ones that we're going to give away. It's a random draw, so it doesn't matter what you say to us. It doesn't really influence us unless you send us money. But then that would counteract the gift card. So we take baked goods. No? Coffee?
We take tacos.
Tacos, yes.
As long as you don't throw them at us.
Yeah, if you throw them at us, you're getting a punch in the face. So yeah.
Now.
Or lower.
No aggression.
No aggression?
No aggression.
If someone throws tacos at me, I'm sorry. I'm going to be aggressive.
Right?
Again, I don't know how she stayed.
I think Maria handled it perfectly.
No, she did, but I wanted to punch her. Not Maria, but the other lady. But yeah, so if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, you'll be entered. But you have to make your YouTube channel Not private.
Your subscriptions.
Your
not
subscription, not private. And if you go to our video about it, there's a link on how to.
And just so you guys know, the only reason for that, and you can go private again afterwards.
Right after we're done.
Yeah, the only reason that we cannot get your email account if we.
Well, we can't get their email regardless.
No,
their ID or whatever.
Contact them.
Yeah, we can't contact you.
Right.
If not, so it's not.
And I understand
we're not going to contact you or anything like that, other than if you win. But
yeah, and I understand people doing that. I didn't even know that was a setting. Mine could be even on myself. I don't even know. But so you just subscribe. Make sure you take that setting off, and then when we pull the list, you'll be entered into that. But yeah, we're making a push to 1,000, and So
pretty exciting.
Yeah, and then subscribe to the podcast, review, rate, whatever. Again, we don't know how to do it on Android. We say that every time, but we appreciate that, and everyone's listening and comments and live streaming and blah blah blah.
Thank you, Aaron.
Aaron.
Well,
Aaron said good show, guys.
Oh,
Thanks, Aaron.
Thank you, Aaron. Do we have any trolls tonight? Like, remember that one guy?
I mean, we had somebody say that we were fat, but that's okay.
But that's kind of true.
Well, it is.
At least we all have children.
Right?
What does that have to do with being fat?
It's the dad bod.
It's the dad bod.
Oh, dad. No, these aren't dad bods. These are fat bods. All right, guys. Have a good night.